Hello and welcome to our class on writing question number 2. So let me get started right away and teach you how to get the best score you can on this question. The first thing that I want to tell you is that you see this at the very end of the test. This is the last question you have. It's a tough one for the last one because what you're going to get is you're going to get a question that asks for your opinion about something. And you're going to have 30 minutes to write an essay that describes your opinion and why you have that opinion. You've got to support it. So there are a couple of things that I'm going to talk about first. The first thing is that when you see this question, it can be about one of many different topics. It could be about education, money, work, the environment, government, friends. There's a lot of options. So what I want to do is not teach you what all the different kinds of things you should be prepared for, but to teach you a specific method and technique so that you can answer any one of these questions effectively. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now, for those of you who do want more practice, who want to know those topics, if you're on YouTube, you can click on the link below, and that's going to lead you to my site that's part of the class, where you'll have about 5 or 6 more pages of detailed discussion on this question, and 180 plus, more than 180, example questions that were released by ETS, the company that makes the test. When you sit down and take this test, you're going to get the question and the timer is going to start counting down from 30 minutes right away. So you want to be really efficient and effective. So what you want to do is you want to know exactly how to use your time. The first thing that you want to do is you want to outline your essay. You get 3 minutes for that. So when the clock hits 27, you're done outlining. Then you want to work on the introduction to your essay. That takes about 4 minutes, so when the clock hits 23, you want to be finished and move on to the next one. Then you want to create a body paragraph, which is the support for your opinion that you write in your introduction. Now I'm going to give you all these specific details later, but I just want to give you a general overview right now. So you have 9 minutes for each body paragraph. So when the clock hits 14, work on the second, and when the clock hits 5, you're done, and work on the conclusion. And your conclusion restates your answer, your reasons, and that takes about 3 minutes to produce. It's pretty fast. So when the clock hits 2 minutes, you want to be done with your conclusion. That gives you 2 minutes left to do whatever you want. Now normally I used to tell students to review the essay. I think most people do, but it's impossible to do that effectively in 2 minutes. So what I want you to do is remember that as you're writing your essay, you're probably going to feel that maybe one of these parts isn't so good. You had to pass by it quickly. But since you couldn't spend that much time on it because you know how much time you can spend for each part, you save the last 2 minutes to fix whatever problem you have. So if you had a weak body paragraph 1, you go ahead and fix that. Now let me make some general points. A lot of people teach you how to produce a 5-paragraph essay, which is the standard. But from my experience working with students for the many years that I've done this, it's very hard for students to produce a 5-paragraph essay that's strong and well developed. And what I've seen is that if I take the average student who produces a 5-paragraph essay, teach them the format for creating the 4-paragraph essay, they'll usually, if they submit this and they submit this, get a better score here. Better quality, better content, and more words. Which brings me to the second point. So first, that's why I have a 4-body paragraph essay. Remember, everything I teach you is tested, so my students, I myself, this is necessary, this is enough to get the perfect score. So feel comfortable with that. Now, one of the things that I want to explain is that within this, there are a couple things that you have to make sure to remember. The first is that if you run out of time, like for example, let's say you're not finished with the introduction, when you get to 23 minutes, you've got to move on. It's very important for you to do that. Because if you spend too much time here, all of this, you don't develop well. And that's definitely going to impact your score. The first thing that I want you to realize is that your essay, your score, is largely dependent on word count. I know this from experience, taking the test and with my students taking the test. I've experimented a lot over the years, and I want you to trust me on this fact. All things being equal, What's going to get you the highest score possible is a word count of about 450 plus words. That's how you get to 30 out of 30 on the writing. That's how you get the high score. If you can produce around 400, around 375, 400 words, then you're getting along the lines of a 25. If you're producing about 300 words, then you're getting around 20 or more. Below that, below 20. Now, I want to also mention that your word count comes from the development of your ideas. So what that means is it doesn't come through repetition or making a short idea much bigger than it needs to be. Those are things that are going to hurt your score. It comes from details and explanations. Now, the next thing I want you to realize is that I really didn't teach you how to write this essay. I taught you a general idea of how to go through it, but not the details of it. So I want you all to learn more. And the best explanation, in my experience, comes from either a video that's maybe 30 minutes, which is too long for YouTube and for our class, or detailed written explanations that explain everything. So if you're on YouTube and you click the link below, you'll see that I have a class where I have several pages of detailed notes teaching you exactly how to create the outline, the intro, each body paragraph, each conclusion, so that you can be comfortable in creating an essay of about 300 to 450 words, depending on your comfort and your fluency. So I really want you guys to do that. The next thing that I want you to focus on is practice. The great thing about being part of the class is that you get free practice and feedback from me. So if you are on YouTube, you click on the link below, you'll see an example question. But first I want you to go through all of the detailed explanations so you know how to create your essay. Post your essay, same as my students, and what you're going to do is wait a few days and you'll see feedback from me. And the great thing is I'll tell you how to improve, what score you would have gotten, and I'll give you a chance to repost it with some of the feedback that I've given you, making the changes. So it's a great thing. And for those of you who want a little more help, extra details, don't forget to learn about our products, right? You can go ahead and click on the link you see above about our products on my site. Or if you have questions, click on the Contact Us and get in touch with me. The number one thing I want you to realize is that everything here on the site and in these videos is to help you succeed. So take advantage of it. So I hope you guys learned a little bit. I hope you guys will learn more. You know where to go. And I can't wait to see some of those example essays. So until the next class, bye-bye.